Hello everyone, my name is Kody Shafer, author of Neon Spectacular Japan. I've been involved with neon for about a decade. I started off as an apprentice on Route 66 at Absolutely Neon in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Started off by sweeping the floors and assisting on service calls. We repaired a lot of classic signs along Route 66. While I was attending university, I studied abroad for a summer in Hong Kong. I didn't realize how significant neon signs were to the city and was amazed at the scale of the outdoor advertisements. This really made a mark on me. I moved to Osaka, Japan in September 2018 and got hired at Yoshi's Neon Studio shortly afterwards. Japan is known to be one of the meccas for neon signs, and I got to see and experience some of the last remaining neon spectaculars. The first neon lights in Japan sat above the Tanizawa bag store in Ginza, Tokyo. The new lighting method sparked the interest of many electric lighting product traders. Japanese businessmen traveled all over the world to inspect commercial lighting of department stores and shops. The street views of New York and Paris inspired the race to bring neon signs to Japan. In 1926, only 8 years after the first neon was imported to Japan, Tokyo Electric developed a neon sign and displayed it at the Cool Down Festival in Hibiya Park. The neon display showed children blowing bubbles with letters written in them. Following this, the Showa era kicked off. Within a decade, neon suddenly took over the streets of big cities. It was used in conjunction with flashing incandescent bulbs. The glamour of the neon glow in the night sky captured the hearts of the urbanites. Advertisers raced to make contracts for signs. Some of the first companies to jump on board were the food and beverage businesses. Asahi Beer, Meiji Chocolates, and Glico Foods were some of the early adopters for this new advertising medium. By February 1930, the GM Spectacular made its debut in Ginza. The sign was made up of concentric circles overlaid by the General Motors logo. After that, the Cow Soaps Neon Tower was constructed, and then the big clock outside of the Ueno train station. Neon signs were gaining popularity, and by 1934, the Osaka Grand Palace would set the world record for the largest amount of neon on a building. Companies that were traditionally active in newspaper advertising usually plunged into the new medium. An even wider variety of companies such as manufacturers of chemicals, toothpaste, stationery, electrical products, and general stores were having neon spectaculars produced. This was before television made its way into households, so these emerging companies were desperate to find ways to make a public appearance in a bright and colorful fashion. The late 1930s, international tensions started to rise, and Japan limited electricity, eventually banning neon signs. Neon quickly rebounded after the war as the occupying American forces ordered neon signs for their postal exchange stations. By 1952, there were about 200 companies specializing in electric signs, approximately 12,000 union employees, and 70 companies specializing in neon tube manufacturing. The top 5 companies had monthly outputs of over 12,000 feet of tubing. Structure and materials were rapidly developed as the demand for large neon signs increased. Unique sign forms of all shapes and sizes were constructed to compete for the attention of the city's inhabitants. As the industry matured, leading designers and artists became involved in sign design. The decision to outsource design led to many radical concepts, creating a challenge for fabricators and engineers. The key to neon resurrection is in art, are the words of Japanese painter Misao Yokoyama. In 1953, Morinaga, a confectionery company, erected a globe-shaped neon tower in Ginza. The globe was installed on the roof of the Fujikoshi building. The globe became a landmark of Ginza and gave Japan a feeling of post-war recovery. The Morinaga globe became a frequently renovated sign in order to keep a modern sense of color and style. New techniques such as indirect lighting and plastic facing were applied one after another. Another remarkable tower was the Neon Star of Ginza that was erected in 1954. The Neon Tower was an example of the eye-catching spaceship-like signs that appeared in Japan during this time. Japan's economy continued to boom into the 1960s. infrastructure developed greatly in anticipation of the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. Many new signs were erected along the highways leading to Haneda Airport and the Olympic venue. This was considered to be the second heyday for neon signs in Japan. As Japan moved into the 1970s, some troublesome years approached. The oil shock began in October 1973. The economy recovered from the oil shock, though the price hikes on commodities stayed. 1975 was marked by an unusually strong outflow of trade, which injected some life back into the neon industry. Moving into the 1980s, Japan experienced a bubble economy. Signs for personal loans, credit cards, and entertainment became very popular. In recent times, the demand for neon signs in Japan has sharply dropped. New technologies allow for more versatile and efficient forms of outdoor advertising. The reduction of energy use, the increasing strength of typhoons, and the aging workforce among neon workers make options such as LED screens, spotlit billboards, and backlit panels favored among outdoor advertisers. Although it's unlikely that Japan experience another big neon heyday, exciting things are going on in terms of neon art and modern signs in Tokyo and Osaka today. Please check out my book, Neon Spectacular Japan, available on Amazon for more information about neon spectaculars in Japan.